saw the reaction from the Bills players. They lifted Shakir up. They wanted to carry him off the field after that run. In addition to that 52-yard touchdown run, Allen throwing for 3 scores in the victory. It's his 4th career playoff game with at least 4 combined passing and rushing touchdowns and no turnovers. The only other quarterbacks with at least that many playoff games in NFL history, Joe Montana and Allen's opponent next weekend, that is Patrick Mahomes. The difference is Mahomes is finally on the road and coming to Allen's house next week. Cannot wait for that. Marcus, when you look at Josh Allen's overall game, he protected the football. And that is where we're going to start here. What stood out the most to you?
Oh, Josh Allen protecting the football is the key to the Buffalo Bills winning a championship. That's number one. And the other thing that kept coming to my mind is Joe Brady has now given Josh Allen a plan and a place to go with the football every time he drops back to throw it. And he's not afraid to run the football. Do you know I actually watched the Buffalo Bills milk time off the clock by handing the football off yesterday? That was the one thing that stood out to me more than anything. And I know James Cook only had 18 carries, but it was about when those carries occurred and how effective they were and how they kept the Pittsburgh Steelers defense away from knowing that the Buffalo Bills would be one-dimensional. It was phenomenal. Joe Brady has been wonderful, and Josh Allen now has a plan and a place to go with the football, and this is their best course to try to win the Super Bowl. There is trust. You could see that between the quarterback and the play caller. And I got to get your thoughts here, Marcus, because on that 52-yard run, your playing weight, 6'4", 315 pounds. Josh Allen is 6'5", 240, 250, depending on, if he's going to go eat some food before coming in, right? How are you handling Josh Allen in the open space coming towards you like a train? What are you going to do there, Marcus? First of all, he ain't coming at me way back there, Kev. That's number one. The best thing you can do to Josh Allen is to get him to stop his damn feet before he break through that line of scrimmage. Because your DBs got hell to pay when they try to drop their shoulder on the big fella. Now obviously I gotta be a defensive guy, and I gotta bring up the fact that we thought he was gonna slide and everybody pulled up. The league gotta figure out a way to fix that, man. That is such an advantage in the open field because you're either going to get a personal foul and a FedEx letter in your locker if he really is sliding and you go for the hit. And then when he ifs and everybody pulls up, we going to kill you in the media about making a business decision and not wanting to tackle. That is a catch-22, and I understand what the league is about hits on the quarterback and making sure they're protected, but we got to figure out a rule for that fake slide, dude.
You saying he pulled the Vlade Divac? The flop?
No, Coach, he pulled the Vlade. Didn't Kenny Pickett do that in college?
He did. Yeah, he did in the bowl game. Yep. I think the first
okay. I thought so.
And then they changed the rule, by the way, after he did that.
What would you have done if I was running at you in the open field?
Oh.
I'd have picked your ass up and threw you in the 4th row of the stadium.
We all know that's true. Right? We all know that's true.
Yeah, right? Like, I got no comeback. I'm just going to laugh. Yo, this is what I did like out of Buffalo's offense last night. I agree with Marcus, valuing the football. I've talked a lot about Josh's interceptions this year. Obviously in the playoffs, they do matter just a click more. It's win or go home. I loved the emergence of Shakir in the slot, okay? Shakir in the slot, Gabe Davis out. It gives them another person in the middle of the field. You think Steph there a couple times, but Steph on the outside. And then you think him and Kincaid, and then also they found their run. Marcus, you notice it seems like every week right now for Buffalo's offense, they're trying to find a specific run in game that they can go to. Dallas was that tackle pull. A couple weeks ago, it was the front side zone. This week is they got a 6th offensive lineman in. They went bunch on one side, so 3 receivers, and then they ran that weak zone opposite. And for me, as an offensive Marcus, you know this, as a play caller, you're trying to find what works. And I love the fact that Joe Brady kind of goes on that journey. What's working? And then when he gets it, it's like, here it comes. They ran it 9 times yesterday.
Here it comes,
Yep, and it's like, hey, until you stop it, I'm going to keep calling. I love that from him.
By the way, Dan Orlovsky's longest run forward, 10 yards. You got a first down, Dan. You got a first down.
In the NFL?
In the NFL, 10 yards. You seem shocked.
He could never go 52,
I'm trying to think of, no.
You seem shocked by that. You seem shocked you got double-digit yards.
I thought it would have been against, like, Lehigh or something in college.
I know the headlines tend to go about Dak Prescott, what went wrong, but Dan Quinn's defense, my goodness, the Cowboys couldn't stop Jordan Love, who had a nearly perfect 99.3 total QBR in the win. That's actually the highest single-game mark in the playoffs since ESPN began tracking the metric in 2006. By the way, C.J. Stroud's performance Saturday against Cleveland puts him third on the list. Back here with Marcus and Dan. Listen, they punched him in the face early on this offense. What's separated? Because it felt like Matt LaFleur put on a clinic here with Jordan Love.
Clinic, outcoached everybody when it comes to Dallas. What he did with Kevin was goes, hey, what do you struggle with? And we're going to do it. Say, so 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight end. They did it half their snaps. Under center, 67% of the time. They motioned 39 times in this football game, and they went play action 10 times. They did exactly how they knew the Cowboys would play and attacked it. There's motion. The quarterback is under center. I have no idea how the Cowboys are kicking a linebacker out to cover Jaden Reed, but the route matters. Now, Romeo Doubs knows that when they play man, Dallas, they want to undercut crossing routes, meaning they go underneath off the back hip. That's exactly what Jordan Lewis, the defensive back, is trying to do. He's trying to beat him to the point across the field. Well, Doubs sells it and then comes back out to the sideline. Remember all those clips and memes that went through the internet of people asking, well, how are all these people by themselves for Green Bay? That's how. Multiple times in that game, what Green Bay did was they sold a crossing route. They knew the defensive back for Dallas would try to undercut it and beat him to the spot, and then they came back out from where they came from. They did it with motion. They did it with play action. They put a quarterback under center, and they did everything that they knew Dallas would try to do to counter it and used it against them. That's coaching.
Dio, and from a defensive perspective, the inability to adjust from Dan Quinn and this defense, and obviously we talked yesterday about how limited in personnel they were as far as the linebacker spot. But when you look at Jordan Love and Green Bay, the most important thing that they were able to do is hit the explosive plays in the run and the pass game. And when you think about Dallas's defense, first of all, he took the ball at the beginning of the game because he wanted to go down and score a touchdown. But more importantly, he knew that he had this defense early in this game. If you think about the split flow that we talked about with Aaron Jones in the run game, why not do it to Dallas? The area of the defense where everybody's had success is exactly how you like to run the football with your running back. The passing game, I believe this truly. I think Dan Quinn was terrified to play man-to-man. I think he had a healthy amount of respect for these wide receivers. But when he found himself in zone, he knew that the run after the catch and the explosive nature of what they could do out of the backfield would put him at a disadvantage as well. They had no answers defensively, man, schematically and player-wise.
Tremendous growth for Jordan Love in the second half of the season, and we saw that, of course, peaking in Dallas.